It was supposed to be the perfect weekend getaway. My friends and I had rented a cabin deep in the woods, far from the noise of the city. There were 5 of us: me, Sarah, Jake, Mia, and Chris. We'd been planning this trip for months: hiking, bonfires, and stargazing. But what started as a fun escape turned into a nightmare I'll never forget. The cabin was old but charming, surrounded by towering pines and a thick blanket of snow. The first night was peaceful. We roasted marshmallows, told stories, and laughed until our sides hurt. But as the fire died down, I noticed something strange. The woods were completely silent. No wind, no animals, not even the crunch of snow underfoot. It was like the forest was holding its breath. The next morning, we decided to explore. Sarah found an old map in the cabin's drawer, showing a trail that led to a nearby lake. It looked like a fun adventure, so we packed some snacks and set off. The trail was narrow and overgrown, but we followed it anyway, joking about getting lost and having to survive in the wild. About an hour in, we reached a clearing. In the center stood a massive oak tree, its branches twisted and gnarled like claws. Hanging from one of the branches was a doll, a porcelain doll with cracked skin and empty eyes. It was dressed in a tattered white gown, swaying gently in the breeze. We all froze. Something about it felt wrong, like it didn't belong there. Jake, always the joker, reached up and grabbed it. "Relax, guys," he said, holding it up. "It's just a doll." But the moment he touched it, the air grew colder. The doll's head tilted unnaturally, and its eyes seemed to lock onto Jake. He dropped it immediately, and we all backed away. No one said a word as we hurried back to the cabin. That night, things got worse. We were sitting around the fireplace when we heard it, a faint knocking at the door. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. We all looked at each other, unsure if we'd imagined it. Then it came again, louder this time. Chris grabbed a poker from the fireplace and cautiously opened the door. No one was there, just the empty porch and the dark woods beyond. We tried to laugh it off, but the mood had shifted. The knocking continued throughout the night, always 3 knocks, always at random intervals. By morning, we were exhausted and on edge. That's when we noticed the footprints in the snow, small, child-sized footprints leading from the woods to the cabin door. They stopped right where the knocking had come from. We decided to leave early, but the car wouldn't start. The battery was dead, and none of us had cell service. As we debated what to do, Sarah pointed to the woods. The doll was back, hanging from a tree just beyond the clearing. Its head was tilted, and its cracked smile seemed wider than before. We all felt it, a sense of dread, like we were being watched. Desperate, we tried to hike back to the main road, but the trail was gone. The woods seemed to shift around us, the trees closing in. We wandered for hours, the doll appearing every time we thought we were getting closer to safety. It was always just out of reach, always watching. By nightfall, we were back at the cabin. The knocking started again, louder and more insistent. This time, we didn't open the door. Instead, we barricaded ourselves in the living room, huddled together as the knocking turned into pounding. The walls seemed to shake, and the air grew colder with each strike. Then suddenly it stopped. We waited in silence, too scared to move. That's when we heard it, a child's laughter, faint and echoing, coming from the woods. It was the most terrifying sound I've ever heard. We stayed like that until dawn, too afraid to sleep. The next morning, the car started without issue. We didn't question it. We just left, driving as fast as we could until we were back in the city. None of us have spoken about what happened since, but sometimes, late at night, I hear it. 3 slow knocks at my door, and I know it's not over.